Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap stream. So today we are going to be streaming a little bit of our Deadpool deck in Hell's Kitchen while it's still a featured location. We have a little bit of time on lunch, and live streaming is something that I want to do a little bit more often. It's just something I haven't been able to do up to this point, but I figured now is as good a time as any, and so Umais, that was so fast. That was incredibly quick. Thank you for joining us for the stream. We're going to be doing a little bit of Deadpool live streaming, just kind of hanging out. And so I wanted to kind of get a second to chat with you guys, just play some Deadpool, which is typically what I would have done on lunch anyways. I was planning on playing, so I figured why not go ahead and jump into a stream. And so thank you guys for joining me. It's that late for you? So it's almost 1 p.m. for me. And so when our live streams or when our videos go live, it's typically, hey Lucius and hey Aaron, how's it going? And so right now, this is the deck that I'm using to climb. For Umais, whenever our videos go live, it's usually 6 a.m. for me. What time is it usually for you? And so we're going to go ahead and play our Bucky Barnes. They went ahead and their first turn, they played a Ebony Maw. So they've locked out that location. Hey, Fran, how's it going? And hey, Harry. Hey, Diver. And hey, Sasha. Thank you for jumping in, even if you don't have time to watch. I very much enjoy you just jumping in and saying hey. And then it's 12:57 p.m. Oh wow. But yeah, so right now we are actually streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Hey Danny, how's it going? We are streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. Yeah. Hey Petrum, how's it going? We were able to fit in a live stream today, so it's going to be a short one. It's only going to be about an hour or so, and so I'm so glad that you guys were able to jump in and join me. But we are live streaming to both Twitch and YouTube just to kind of see how it goes. Right now, since we're not monetized on Twitch, we can stream to both simultaneously, and we don't have to worry about messing up any kind of contracts or anything right now. Yeah. Yeah, so I went ahead and switched the avatar to the hair avatar. And so 1 p.m. usually for my lunch break, which is dry. That's perfect for the video launch time, isn't it? So I always felt a little weird because it's 6 a.m. my time, but I know that the game is so global that doesn't really matter for everyone. Yeah, I have the hair avatar. Oh man, made sure to come to the Twitch to follow. Hey Town, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone jumping in. It was an unannounced live stream, and everybody just kind of jumped in so quickly. I appreciate you guys being here. And so the Dark Dimension, we don't really want to throw too many cards there. Hey Fran, I guess I was playing too slow for Styles. Hey Dale, hey Rosenberg, please stream a little early if you can. Yeah, I want to mix in some more streams. It just trying to figure out when to do them. So can you switch to the games? Oh my gosh, I did that for the intro and I forgot to switch over. There we go, guys. There's the one with the deck list with the card. That's the one for the stream with the card. Information, and then when we get follows on Twitch, it'll pop up as well. I apologize about that. And so I do want to try to do some more live streaming, but figuring out a time when pushing out the daily videos and having a wait, is my face not on there? Oh, where's my face? Is my face not on there? Marine Man. Hey, Nicholas. Hey, I'm glad you were able to jump in. And then thank you for the follow. I missed which follow it was. I apologize. For those of you watching on YouTube, is the face cam there? Is it, does audio come through good? Like, are the audio levels okay? I'm glad that everybody jumped in. There's so many people that jumped in, especially for an unannounced live stream. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys. And so we are gonna try to get a few games in. I'm gonna try and keep up with chat. Can't hear the game, and so I can turn it up a little bit. It's always tricky because mid-game, when it gets to like the high point in the game, the audio always gets so loud. So I think we're gonna drop our Deadpool. Next turn we'll do a Hulkbuster. And so thank you guys for joining. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. And the overlay, the Green Goblin disrupts our Hulkbuster play. So maybe we just go with a Deathlock next turn instead. So the overlay, just like the borders, like the white borders, I made in Photoshop as a PNG image, and then for the others, it's in OBS. I made like there's a whole bunch of little screens that will kind of showcase different parts of the game. Isn't there a thing that shows the Twitch comments on YouTube and vice versa? Zombie, I'm not sure. I'm using Restream, and so I have the Restream chat docked. And then thank you for the follow. I have the Restream chat docked, and so it shows both YouTube and Twitch on that same kind of image or same area. So I don't have to try to bounce back and forth between pages. Hey, Oboyo, thank you for jumping in. And thank you for jumping in the live. Thank you for enjoying the content. I appreciate all of you guys jumping in and joining me today. So here, I think it's a little bit too late to do Hulkbuster, and we may not get a whole bunch of gaming in, but that's okay. So I think we're gonna do Deadpool and we're gonna do Carnage here to try and push some power into the flooded lane. We have initiative, so we don't have to worry about a Juggernaut affecting our ability to at least destroy the cards in this lane. It's okay. TLSG. It gets flipped quite a bit, a little bit more than you would imagine. And then what are my thoughts about the new card? I think he's good in a few decks. He's a little bit more versatile than Thor was last season. Thor is just a big stat stick. And then, yeah, don't forget to like the stream. I appreciate you guys. So I think we froze for a second, guys. Are we back? Oh my gosh. Oh my. Thank you, the end guy. Thank you for the thank you for the follow. Yeah, we are back. So we are ahead in the flooded lane. Do we stack our power into Baxter Building to make sure we swing that one? That way, if they do absorb some power here, we're taking a 6 power swing anyways. Are we back? Did it unfreeze, guys? And so for this one, and so maybe the restream is a little bit too much for my bandwidth. Can you say you're live on Discord? Oh, and so the leader outplays us. Hey Exile, how's it going? Let me make sure. Phew, I thought. Nope. I don't think it's your internet. I think it's mine. And I haven't tested live streaming on both YouTube and Twitch before. So if the quality looks poor, let me know. And then maybe it's that we just need to focus on one streaming platform or the other. I thought maybe we would be able to do both, but if it's too much for my internet to handle, and I'm actually going to close the previews of the streams, so maybe that'll help the bandwidth a little bit. And so, hey Mac, how's it going? I'm so glad that you at least jumped in and joined us. It's 2 a.m. your time. If you don't have a lot of time to watch, I appreciate you just jumping in and being here for a few moments. And so I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. I'm enjoying creating the content, and I hope that kind of comes through. I'm still enjoying the game almost just about as much as when we first launched it, except for now we know a little bit more. We're not playing against bots and feeling like we're on top of the world. So Sinister London's going to be a pretty good location here, but I don't know that we want to duplicate our Deadpool just yet. I'm going to play him into the far right lane. We may play Bucky Barnes and Sabretooth into Sinister London to get a double play of them so we can get more destruction. Yeah, no, I'm glad you found the Discord. We do have a Discord. It's linked in the video description of each of our videos. So if you do want to join our Discord, it is small right now, but it is growing, and it's a place where I try to actively monitor and just kind of engage in. And so we are going to go with the Bucky Barnes play into Sinister London. Came back, found some time. Hey, Sasha, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to jump back into the stream. And so I closed out the previews. We did hit a bit of a lag spike, but hopefully it's not there to stay. Are you considering trying to make decks around the newly buffed cards like Rescue? Yeah, so I do want to test out Rescue, the new discard package, and then I'm curious about the new Kingpin. I have a couple of ideas for him. I still think he's going to be difficult to use, just because if you drop Kingpin on 3, you're telegraphing what you're planning on doing at the end of the game. And so I want to try a couple out, but we just had so much new content with Hell's Kitchen, with Daredevil, and then with the user-suggested video. User-suggested video is what's going to be coming out tomorrow, and it's a junk style deck. I already have it recorded. I just need to edit it. But it's the weekly user-suggested video, and so after that, I think we have a little bit of bandwidth. So we're going to look at building around some of the newly balanced cards. And so I think we play our Carnage here because it's good for him to hit either of the other 2 lanes, and we'll get some pretty decent upside from it. And then we'll be able to bounce our Deadpool back in. We'll be able to play 2 Deadpools and bring them back into our hand potentially, depending on what we draw into. And then if we can get a double death on the last turn, that'd be pretty big as well. So thank you guys for jumping in and joining. I know that we have a handful on Twitch, a handful on YouTube. I am streaming to both right now. I don't know long term that we'll do that. I don't know if we focus on Twitch or YouTube, but right now we're just kind of experimenting. We're still pretty new to doing the live streams. And so we do have a free Sabretooth back in hand. We have some pretty big lanes in the Carnage Bucky Barnes lanes. So maybe we do something like a Nova, a Deadpool, and then a Killmonger. So that's going to double trigger our Nova. It's going to double kill our Deadpool, so we're going to have 2 6-powered Deadpools back in our hands. It's going to reduce our death almost to free. It may be 1 cost. So we'll be able to have a pretty big turn 6. Hey, Famil, thank you for jumping in the live stream. And Double Wong is pretty scary. Hopefully we're able to kind of outpace him with the large power play that we're going to have on turn 6. And so yeah, after this game, I'll pull up the new Kingpin, but I do want to do a video around it, or at least try to make it work. I'm a fan of Kingpin. He's just difficult to consistently use. Oh, that Sandman is rough. That Sandman's very rough, because we were going to be able to push out so much power, but instead it goes down to just 12, depending on what their Wong is. So if it's a Gambit, if this is a version of the Sandy Gambit that we had on our stream or for our video today, they may do a Gambit here for a double destruction. Another one comes over here for another. This could be a pretty big turn 6 for them. I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to play it out. And then Sinhoff, do you think to worth the wait for the patch to get Wave, or just open? Wave has quite a few utilizations, but I don't use her in too many deck lists. And since we don't have a lot of like Swarm style decks, I don't think it's as important. Oh, they are doing a version of the Sandy Gambit. So they are going to have at least 3 destructions here, potentially 4. So it's very, 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 very scary. Hey, Schmitty, thank you for jumping in the live stream. Hey, Jose, thank you for jumping in the live stream. I'm catching up on some chat. Why doesn't Morph not clone on Sinister London? He clones to the card he becomes. Yep, because it triggers before Sinister London. So whatever he became is what triggers. And then the Imina, yeah, the Sandman was huge. And then Jorge, I have played Molt a few times, and we're pretty even in the kind of the cube distribution. So I don't know that it'd just be an all-out wipe. I think it'd be a close match every single time. And Ryo, I haven't streamed for a while, but I do want to do it more. It's just with a full-time job and doing our daily videos, it's hard to fit it in. And so I think I'm going to be doing some lunch streams, some like short 1-hour lunch streams, just to see how it goes. Like we won't have a whole lot of time, but it is better than nothing. More live streams can never be wrong. Funny when you lose to your own deck. Yeah. Yeah, that was some extreme bad RNG on their side. The triple location win. Okay, now we are all caught up. So we are going to jump into another one. Thank you guys. I want to keep caught up on chat, but what does TLSG stand for? So I haven't told very many people what TLSG stands for, but there's a funny, it's kind of nerdy, like story behind the name. And so probably 8 or more years ago, I wanted to do live streams. I started a live stream channel, and I live streamed for a handful of days, probably 2 or 3, actually probably a week or 2. But in my nerdy punny self, I thought, what would be a cool name whenever you're telling your friends, hey, have you seen this live stream? So I named the live stream channel That Live Stream Guy. And so that way I could, if you're telling your friends, hey, have you seen that live stream guy? It was 8 years ago. But, yeah, story time. But the chat shortened that to TLSG just for ease of chatting. And so it just kind of stuck. Even when I ended that channel, it kind of stuck. And so it's been TLSG ever since, even though I haven't live streamed since then. But I don't know. I just thought it was a cool shortening of the name, and I just kind of stuck to it. And most people I don't tell. I just like, oh yeah, one time I just hit random letters on the keyboard, and that's what came out. But no, it stands for That Live Stream Guy. How do you spend time with family, with working, and how much you play this? So weekends are almost exclusively for family. That's why responding to comments and things I get behind on weekends. So I have a 18-month-old daughter. Whenever she goes to bed, my wife usually goes to bed around that same time. That's whenever I sneak off and do some recording, do some playing. So basically, I just don't sleep as much as I should. That's how I fit in extra time to play. So a cool quirk with the cloning vats is that we're going to be able to play Deadpool. We'll play Hulkbuster. Cloning vats should copy the 8-power Deadpool back into our hand. And then Venom is great for that location as well. And then you'll be moving over to Twitch. Oh, thank you for switching over, for jumping over. Let me make sure I'm caught up. I've always wanted to know what it meant. Yeah. Is there a version of this deck without Deadpool? Hey, thank you for jumping over to Twitch and hitting us with the follow. So without Deadpool, I would do more of a Death Wave style deck. If you have Wave is a great way to push a 6-power card and a free death on that final turn without too much issue. So I would change it a bit, but without Deadpool, you would tweak it a little bit. I don't think Venom would be optimal anymore. A Debris would be, or a Squirrel Girl would be okay to push and reduce your death further. So we have the 8-power Deadpool. We have I don't think we want to do the other Deadpool yet. I think we do Venom because that's going to bring a buffed up Venom back into our hand. It's going to bring 2 16-power. Do we have enough space? I think we do. So cloning vats is really, really fun for a Deadpool style deck, and the Venom, the interaction is so fun. So we have the 8-power. We're going to get 2 16-power Deadpools into our hand. We'll have the buffed up Venom, so I think he's going to be, 17 power when he comes into our hand. So we have a huge push. Hey, Paul, thank you for coming and checking out the content. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying the video. Oh, Lewis. We wanted to see the big power play because that was going to be... like 40 or 50 power. Yeah, the Hulkbuster interactions with cloning vats is so huge. And then all of the Deadpool. Okay, so we are still caught up on chat. Thank you guys for jumping in so last minute. There wasn't any kind of like announcements. I didn't mention it on any of my videos. Deadpool Army. So yesterday I was casually playing without recording, just from my phone, and I had a game that they extended it with magic. I had an 80 power Deadpool in my hand. I had a Taskmaster, so we dropped 160 power on the last turn, which was so big. Hey Dante, thank you for the follow. I almost welcomed Prometheus as well. So next up we have Prometheus, and with my live streams, I tend to not play as quickly because I do like to be able to interact with you guys, keep up on the chats. The hair avatar. Oh, I don't know how that happens. Like, how does that get shipped? I think it's funny nonetheless. Let's see. Don't have Wave. Just got Death and Taskmaster today. So you may be able to do a build without Wave, but Wave really helps kind of increase that consistency, Alexander. Because with Wave, the way it interacts with Death is you only need to destroy 2 cards to be able to drop 2 big cards on that last turn. And then, hey Dustin, I missed the chat, but I'm so glad that you're enjoying the content. I don't know what I'm ranked for heroes. Probably not very good. We're still sitting around rank 70 just because we're experimenting with so many decks. And then, yep, it's you're here for it. Let's see. I got Omega Red. So whenever I first pulled Omega Red, I thought it was going to be really bad. We actually made, in one of the videos, we skipped over him and built something else. But we came back to it. In certain builds, he's okay. But overall, hey Spoiler, welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're having a good day, and I'm glad that you jumped in and joined us. And is there a specific way that I upgrade cards? I do commons. Well, I haven't now, but whenever I was trying to push collection log, I focused on commons first because those are your reduced price ones, and then I started at the highest rarity ones I could to try and get as many of those to infinity, so you can do an infinity split and get an additional common to upgrade. So doing Sabretooth feels kind of rough. I think we want to go with the Deadpool Destruction again. That way we can drop him next turn. We can probably drop him here alongside Venom to get a big Venom. So I think this would be a decent play line. Prometheus, I'm so sorry our turns are taking forever. Keeping up with chat. Let's see, I was thinking, so how do I think Magic avoided the nerfs? I don't know. Maybe because it's not as prevalent of an immediate power push, that maybe it's not deemed as much of a problem yet. I think eventually it will. I think eventually it'll end up getting nerfed. So they're going to be able to tell what we drop. So if they have a Juggernaut, they can push it off. But we have initiative, so we know we'll be able to get the Destruction at the very least. But I think we want to put it into the vault. That's going to give us 1 additional Destruction. Venom's going to absorb Carnage. It's going to reduce Death down to 3. Then we'll be able to drop Death and Sabretooth, Death and another Death and Deadpool, and maybe another card. But I think that's where we're going to push the power. For the free-to-play, Wave is available in Pool now. I'm not sure if it's been released in the patch yet or not, Paul. I know that it's going to be soon. But I'm not sure if they actually got it there yet or not. I know it's going to be pretty soon. So maybe this is a Professor X with the Daredevil play, and then we're not going to be able to play cards here. That's what I would imagine. That'd be the ideal play. Yep. Okay. So Prometheus, you with the Daredevil, that Professor X combo is so satisfying, and being able to do that alongside Storm is good. Okay, Umais, I'm glad that you jumped in, even if it wasn't for long. I'm glad you jumped in to enjoy the live stream, at least for a little bit. This isn't my first live. It's my first live stream on YouTube. Typically, I've been streaming on Twitch, but it's been kind of few and far between. Oh, actually, no, we win. Oh, they'll be able to buff up their sunspot here. Now, if we had a Killmonger and we were able to play it somewhere, that'd be great, but we're not able to. So we're going to go ahead and retreat out. I like it being like Storm. Okay, so I'm going to catch up on live chat, or chat really fast. Okay, Petrum, I'm so glad that you were able to jump in. If you're still here, I'm glad you were able to jump into the live stream, at least for a little bit. I appreciate you being here and just enjoying the content and just being so active in our comment section. I really do appreciate it. And then Frank, welcome to the live stream. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see, this is a good test for Magic. They changed a few things. If after this, yeah. I think with control decks, Magic is really good, but I don't think outside of that. Outside of that, you're really just spending a turn 5 or turn 6 on a low tempo play that your opponent can typically capitalize on. So outside of like control style decks, I don't think she just shines in every deck list, but in control aspects, she's very, very good. Wave was added. Let's try and get caught up. Hey Joan, thank you so much for thank you so much for joining the live stream. You asked if we've considered streaming on Twitch. We're actually live streaming simultaneously on both right now. Typically, I think Twitch is more ideal for live streaming, but I've never streamed on YouTube. So since I'm not a partner or an affiliate on Twitch, I'm able to do both right now without it interfering with any kind of like confidential, any kind of contractual obligation. And so right now we are doing both simultaneously just to kind of see and feel it out. Mr. Brightside, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the content. And I'm so glad that you joined us for the live stream. And then MTG, I've been watching you forever now. Look forward to every video. Thank you so much. The channel growth has been phenomenal. When I started the channel and we didn't really have, we knew we wanted to do Marvel Snap content, but we didn't know exactly what that looked like or how often that would be or really how much success it would be. We just knew that we were having a lot of fun with. We just knew that we were having a lot of fun with the game, and we wanted to kind of share those experiences. And so I'm so glad that everybody has kind of jumped in. The community has been fantastic. The support has been great. And it's been a wild ride so far. I can't even imagine what is in store for the future. I'm sure it's all going to be very great. So let's see, Larson, what do you think the best designed cards are? So I like Captain Marvel a lot. I like the ability to impact the game after the game has ended. I don't think she's just the most powerful. But I do think that card, I really like the idea of Mr. Negative. I think it's really hard to balance around. So when they do a patch or a balance update, they have to keep in mind all of these kind of odd uses for these cards to make sure that they don't make any particular one overpowered. So we are going to go ahead and destroy our Deadpool here while we catch up on more chat. I'm so sorry, guys. I know you jumped in for the gameplay and it ended up being a chat session. So Imina, turn 6 Magic is the main problem. Yeah, it comes as a surprise. And so then you make your biggest push, and that's really where she shines, is that kind of surprise last turn finish. Jose, in my opinion, YouTube just needs a better UI for streams. In my head, at least, and this is maybe outdated, but in my head I think of YouTube as, set uploaded videos, Twitch as your like live stream content. So whenever I go to try to discover somebody new, I head over to Twitch, and that may be just like a mindset that has to shift over time. But as of right now, that's kind of how I see it, even if that's not necessarily how it is, currently. So we're going to destroy our Deadpool again over in Olympia. And Jack, thank you so much. I'm so glad. No, and the deck builds are there for you guys to steal, for you guys to tweak, make better. I'm glad that people utilize them. I love when I release a video and then I play the next day, and then we always start seeing is that deck list. So like when we did the Sandman deck a while back, and then all of a sudden we started seeing all of these Sandman decks on the ladder, and I think it's fantastic. I love seeing things like that. It makes it feel kind of, you can really see the impact that you're making on like the community, and just those ideas that you're helping generate. So here I think we do a destruction of Deadpool again. Venom's going to absorb it. It's not going to get as much upside out of Stark Tower. Going against Mr. Negative is going to be tough when we're paying like 5% attention. I am. Nicole, thank you for jumping in the stream. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and then I'm glad that you're just enjoying the content overall so far. But I do want a competitive mode. I would really enjoy something where it feels like it's high stakes. Like right now, after 100, you can experiment with deck lists. You don't have to do anything like specific. After that, I feel like the season loses a lot of gas for a lot of people. And then a new season comes and it kind of picks back up, and then it kind of dwindles off. I would like a way to kind of make it feel competitive and worthwhile to play, even after you hit that cap. So kind of like Hearthstone Legends, hitting Legendary in Hearthstone, where you still see that number going up and down, and you just want to keep seeing it increase, or I guess decrease. So how do we win here? We don't win in Olympia. We don't have our Taskmaster. We can do... Oh, we do have our Taskmaster. What am I talking about? And it really depends on where they drop resources. Do they drop more than 16 power? The power push potential of Mr. Negative, so they could do a Mystique and then something large here for a pretty big power push. But I think we split it. But I think we put Deadpool. Oh my goodness! I think we put Deadpool over onto the right hand side. I don't know that this is most optimal. No, we should have. Okay, we're getting countered by the leader today. So let me catch back up on chat. We're not doing great overall. Hey Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. That's the hope, is that I'm gonna do some like small like hour-long streams to hit that affiliate kind of goal, and then that way we can do like Twitch Prime subs over on the Twitch channel and things like that. No, we did win because their Taskmaster copied a 0 power Iron Man. Oh my gosh. Friday, I'm so sorry. With how much attention we were paying, we shouldn't have won that one. Is Deadpool better than Human Torch, Blue Boy? I think it depends. I think they're both good. I think Deadpool has a higher... The reason I went with Deadpool instead of Human Torch for Hell's Kitchen was that I anticipated more Killmongers because of Hell's Kitchen, because of that location. And so Human Torch is susceptible to a turn 6, turn 7 Human Torch or Killmonger play, whereas Deadpool, at least you have Taskmaster to copy that power level, and you can make sure that you at least have some power out on the board. And so I'm gonna try and catch back up real quick. I'm so sorry, guys. We missed so many. Larson, I'm sorry that you're not able to play right now. I hope that at least you're able to live vicariously through us until you can get in. And I hope that they come out with the global release really soon. And then Pokey, I'm so glad that you're... Yeah, I think global release is going to be... I think global release is going to be great for us. Hey, thank you for the follow. Joke's on you, I don't get to 100. Yeah, and with everything, with all the cosmetics and everything coming out after the beta ends, getting those avatars won't really mean a whole lot in the long run. So why Chavez in this deck? So Beast wasn't really fitting well for us, and so we went with a card that can help us even out our draws early. So the idea is if we can get Deadpool and Hulkbuster even a turn earlier, or one extra game, that makes our power push potential. Hey Jose, thank you for the follow. That makes our power push potential so much larger. And so it's a kind of tech slot that we're trying out. And then possibly awkward. Hey, how's it going? Finally awake late enough to catch a stream. So I haven't streamed in probably a month. And so this is the first one. Oh my gosh, I don't think we're gonna catch back up on chat, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm doing terrible at keeping current on it. And so Jeff, thank you so much for keeping up with the daily content. I know that it's a lot. Thank you for the follow, Megamer Sean. Is that? The follow. The stream is so small because I have the chat popped up so I can read both. That I'm missing the name callouts. I apologize. And then yeah, I do. Marvel Snap content every single day on our YouTube channel, whether it be new card releases, new deck builds, all kinds of stuff. And I don't see us running out anytime soon. And then thank you for jumping over onto the Twitch. Scott Hamilton, I wonder how long until we can do an endless deck. Sandman and Death exist. Destiny is coming. She isn't already in the game. Mystique Raven. I don't know. I know that as they add more cards, we're going to get some really cool combo potentials. Hey, Progenito? Hey, how's it going? TLSG on stream in European time zones. So this is actually midday for me. It's 1 p.m. I'm doing a quick lunch stream, but our channel is kind of pretty big across all kinds of different continents, which I think is amazing. And so a couple of viewers, it was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. their time, which I do feel bad, but we're going to have this on demand after the fact as well. So Andy, Angel is a potential choice. That way we can try to draw it out. But with Hell's Kitchen, that gives us another potential target that doesn't draw into Deadpool. So right now we only have Nova and Deadpool. And so it's a 50-50 shot if you draw into one or the other, at least while that location's featured. After that's gone, maybe we switch it up. But at least for now, that's the idea behind it. I'm glad. Thank you for the follow. In-game leaderboard will be awesome. Yes, I think that's going to push a lot of the competitiveness and push that forward. Hey Ryan, thank you so much for the follow. You tend to speak as we, us. So are you a team for this YouTube channel or just you? So it's just me, but whenever I say we or us, I mean like you guys, the viewers, the community, because you guys impact the channel and the content so much. That I don't feel like it's just me. Like it's a one-man production. Like I'm doing the recording, the editing, thumbnails, all of that. But I don't feel like it's just me. Your feedback has been huge in helping us kind of know where to focus our efforts. And so I don't think of it as a me. But that's why I kind of talk in that like collective we or us a lot. And then yeah, we are finally caught up, but I missed a few and I apologize. If I missed yours and you want me to respond to it, just shoot it again in the chat. But the flashbang Colossus is so funny. I think we do our Killmonger here. That is going to wipe out their Nova. It's going to discount our Death to basically free. Hey, Rye Guy, thank you for jumping in the live stream. Thank you for jumping in on YouTube. I'm actually streaming to both platforms simultaneously right now, which is wild. I didn't realize that was a possibility until today. And so I figured what better time to try it out where we're not an affiliate on Twitch, so we don't have any kind of obligation to stream to one or the other. So here I think we need to do... So we're going to drop our Death. Hey Jade, thank you so much for the super thanks, for the $5 super thanks. That is so generous. You guys have been so amazing. I know that I say it like every single video, but I really do appreciate all of you guys. Your kindness and support has just been so overwhelmingly positive. Oh, this isn't the last turn. But I think we still do this play regardless. I think we still play our... Do we play our Death or do we go ahead with a Sabretooth? No, I don't think that's the play. I don't think we kill our Deadpool, actually. I think we go with the Sabretooth play. We buff up the Carnage. That way we can play both Sabretooth and Death for free next turn. But Jade, thank you so much for the super thanks, for the $5. I appreciate it. It does help out. Every little bit helps out so much. Possibly awkward. Do you know what to go with this Heroes for Hire little arcade thing in the news is for exactly? There's no prize for it right now. It's just they're testing out different events to try and figure out what they want to do after launch and kind of find a direction. And so Sasha, I'll shoot it again. Did you play any other card games other than Snap? Oh my gosh, we need to at least get our play onto the board real fast, and then I'll start answering. I'm so sorry, guys. So we're gonna do our Sabretooth here, and then I think we push a Chavez in mid. So I played when I was real young, and it wasn't competitive by any means, but the first card game that I got into was Yu-Gi-Oh! Back whenever they just released the starter decks in the U.S. So whenever it was still like the Yugi and the Pegasus starter decks, I played around my neighborhood. Like, I was the kid that was like, "Hey, do you want to?" I was going to my friends' doors, knocking and trying to find people to play with. So not competitive by any means, but that was like the start. And then after that, I've dabbled in a lot. The only thing I haven't dabbled in very far is Magic the Gathering. I've played Legends of Runeterra. I did a couple of like end season tournaments for hitting like I think it's above their top rank. I did a couple of those. I played Hearthstone. I was hitting Legendary for the last couple of seasons right before this released, and then this released and kind of took priority, and I dropped Hearthstone. Marvel Snap, any features from other trading card games? I think just a reason to continue to play. Right now, after hitting Infinite, it doesn't feel like there's much of a reason other than your dailies to continue pushing, unless you're just having fun. But like from a competitive aspect, what is that drawback? And so I think whenever they figure out what that implementation is, I think the game is going to be a lot more competitive. I think we're going to see a lot more try-hard style decks, and then I think we're going to see a lot more play activity as well. So does Killmonger kill cards from first to last played? I believe it's order played, Scott. That way, if you play your Nova, it'll trigger that first before your Deadpool. Right, guy. Yeah. Yeah. We're growing so incredibly quickly. You guys have been so phenomenal. I can't even express how much just all of your feedback, support, and just being here to enjoy the content means. And then Jeff, what was your main card game before Snap? And I may have touched on it. Before Snap, it was Hearthstone. I went through a Legends of Runeterra phase where that was my main card game, but then I had kind of died out and it got stale for me. So I switched over to Hearthstone, and I was playing that an obscene, like a ridiculous amount. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. A ridiculous amount right before Marvel Snap came out, and then I played a couple games, and I was like, ooh, this feels fresh. It feels unique, and so I want to really dive in and really explore this game and what it has to offer. Here we go. Twitch app, terrible, glad you're over here too. Yep, I am on both. So if you disconnect on YouTube, I'm on Twitch. If you disconnect on Twitch, I'm over on YouTube as well. So let's see. Being young and not having many people to play card games with. Oh man, yep, it was. Hey, thank you so much for the super thanks. I'm gonna try to Alcabua. And if I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. If you give me a pronunciation, I'll do my best to pronounce it correctly. I got hooked on card games from Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. Yeah, the early game memories. Like I would wake up early. So I made a Pegasus Toon deck, and it was so bad. Like, it wasn't even great. But that was like, I saw it in the anime, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And so I like traded a lot of my good cards for, what was it? Relinquished and whatever the other one was, and it wasn't great, but I was so proud of that deck. I lost like every single game, but it was so fun to play. Yu-Gi-Oh was so toxic when I was a kid. Yeah, I never went to an event. I was too young to try out any of the like competitive events, so it was just other kids in my neighborhood. And like then there were people that were like, whenever you were at sleepovers, like trying to steal other people's cards. It turned into an awful like drama thing, and before it ended up stopping. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. And so I stopped playing Hearthstone when I got the beta invite. Yeah. I jumped over, and it just, where Hearthstone, there were some games that went on for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I was like, oh, I can't. If I'm doing a lunch game and I'd start with 20 minutes left, I can't. Like, there's no way. There's no way that I can reliably do that. And then I did a couple of the Hearthstone tournaments, and those took an entire day to do if you were winning consistently. So let's see. So played Hearthstone for ages, and then hitting Legends, but Standard is it just it doesn't feel like fresh like it did when it first came out. And so this feels fun. It feels different, and so it really grabbed that hook and pulled me in. And then Magic the Gathering is something that I've wanted to play, but I've always been kind of hesitant on the entry fee, like the cost of building up your deck or a good deck in the online version, and then for Magic the Gathering, going to live events or to like a store, to like a comic book store or something. is a little bit difficult to find time as well, because most of my game time comes really late after everyone else in the house is asleep. And then Gwen had a golden era too, was a lot of fun. I never actually got into Gwen, but I've heard some really good things about it for like whenever it kind of was first coming up and making its name on the scene, and then just kind of dropped off. The concept of instant cards doesn't feel nice when playing online. So like for the Magic the Gathering arena, is that what you're talking about? Did anyone ask about Runeterra yet? Yeah, so Cameron, I did play Legend of Runeterra for when, and it was probably the same thing when it first came out. And the fact that you were able to get your collection for free, you didn't have to like continually worry about expansions and things like that, was a big draw. But it kind of, the competitive scene, at least whenever I was playing, really honed into like 2 or 3 decks, and so then it felt like you were doing the same thing. So the last time I played, it was like a Twisted Fate Fizz. It was a Darius like direct damage deck, and then one other one. It was right when he came out, but it felt like that's all you really played against. And if you played anything else, you were at a really big disadvantage. And it may be different now, but that was whenever I kind of like got burnt out on it. I still watch Hearthstone content. Some, but since free to play, you can't really try as much. Yeah, you can potentially get a good draw or good luck on the ladder for maybe a one-time thing, but you're going to have to grind the same deck consistently. You're not going to be able to do that kind of experimentation that you would normally want to do. So basically, always needing a timer between every action in case your opponent might have an. Okay. So Alexander, sometimes you just get instant counters. Other instant. Okay. Hey. Mayato, I'm so glad that I love whenever people tell me where they're viewing from, because it's so crazy to me how big of a reach this game and this channel has, and so it's always so fun to see kind of where all of our viewers are. So from the US to you, I'm so glad that you're here and you're enjoying the content and that you were able to join us live for a bit. You'd probably really like Android Netrunner, same as Magic the Gathering. Oh, same designer. It's an asymmetrical card game with some big risk reward mechanics. Dale, I'm going to write that down to check it out. It may not be something that I ever like feature or showcase, but I am interested in it. So let's see. Let me get at least one play in. So we're almost at the end of the game. Deadpool is really, really small. I think a Killmonger, if they have initiative, is going to be big. So I think we push to win just one lane. We'll get a cheap death. If we can get our death down to 2, or down to 3, which this will do that, then we can do both death and Killmonger. As long as they have initiative, we'll be able to kill a Deadpool if they drop it. And so Spare, hey there, I've been wondering while watching your content, what does TLSG stand for? So I did explain it a little bit ago. In short, it's really nerdy. I had a channel probably 8 years ago. It was That Live Stream Guy, because I thought in my punny self, I was like, what would be cool whenever you see a stream and you're talking to your friend and you're like, hey, did you see that live stream guy? I only streamed for maybe a week, but that was the idea behind it. And then the chat, whenever I streamed, shortened it to TLSG, so that it was easier to kind of type in, and it just kind of stuck. And so here we are going to have, we're not going to be able to do Killmonger because we have initiative. So maybe it's that we do. I don't think we have a great shot here, but we're gonna kind of disperse our power anyways. We're gonna do Deadpool over here, Killmonger before the Deadpool, so that we don't kill our Deadpool, and then Death. We're gonna have to hope that the 12 power is enough. Cameron, I'd say that there's about 10 top decks you can use now. Is the third? Yes. That was the third. Cameron was the third deck. It had just came out, and like that was every single deck that you were running up against. And I really liked a Quinn deck. I thought Quinn, just how much impact you could have with it, I thought it felt really good. It wasn't always the most competitive, but that was one that I ran kind of off meta or to the side. So they extended the game. Oh. So maybe we drop. I still think we lose, but we're gonna drop our Chavez into Hala to push some more power there. Ryo, I think those were early meta decks in LOR. Yeah. And so maybe it's that I need to jump back and try it again, but I've just been focused so much on Snap that if it ever hits a lull, maybe I go back and just in my free time just check it out. Victory. I loved Whizbang in Hearthstone. It was fun just playing a game or two with a random deck while walking the dog. I never actually got to play Whizbang, but I've seen videos on it. And so let's see, I'll promote Regis, Kilbin, and yeah. And so I have watched both of their streams. So the other day I was in office, so I wasn't able to like really play or respond to comments like I normally do for my lunch. But I did check out a few of their channels just to kind of see what other people in a similar aspect were doing. And I think they have phenomenal channels. So Gwent's kind of like Snap, but at like a different dimension. Instead of trying to win 3 location, you're trying to win the best out of 3 games. And so is Gwent still kind of, it's pretty small, but it has more of a dedicated following, right? And then a Texas deck. Hey Wes D4, thank you so much for the follow. XD, his videos are really fun to watch. I think he does a unique take on a lot of his videos that make his draw and his draw in really phenomenal. So Imina, okay. Colorado, hey, thank you for joining all the way from Colorado. What's happening, TLSG? Good luck in your games. Hey, Jareth, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully, the next time we match up, you can steal one away. I know that we're back and forth a little bit on who wins the games. It's always a good matchup, regardless. So makes sense. Hey, Spare, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're able to join us all the way from France. Average live stream enjoyer. Did you see? Yeah, did you see that live stream guy? And then it's just like, who? What are you talking about? And then there's our doggo. Great dog. Why did you start creating Snap content? Hey Wes, why did I start creating Snap content? So I knew that I've created content before, but I never really had something that really drew me in or really stuck to like my skill set and what I'm good at. And then Hearthstone, by the time I really thought about creating content, it was so diversified. There's so many content creators that I didn't think there was a way to really easily stand out and put myself, in front of that crowd, or have that really big draw. And so whenever Snap came out, I played it and I was like, this is amazing. I had a really good time, and I was able to do some of those really cool reads where we anticipate what the opponent plays, and I was enjoying it so much that I just wanted to be able to share those moments, and I didn't think it would really get as big as it has, but I didn't think I'd be able to share. I wanted to be able to share those moments that we were having with an audience and with other people that enjoyed it as much as I did. And then it just kind of morphed into what we have now. Hey Zader, thank you so much for the follow. So I think we do the Deadpool and the Venom here into this lane, and then that'll reduce our death sum, and we still have the Killmonger to reduce it even further. Are you streaming in Twitch and YouTube right now? Yeah, Elmo, I'm doing both simultaneously. Since I'm not an affiliate on Twitch, I'm actually able to stream to both without any kind of contractual obligations. So I'm just testing it out. Hey, E-Style. Yeah, this is actually the first YouTube live stream I've done. And how close to current am I? Okay, so we're pretty close. This is the first YouTube live stream I've done, and the last Twitch one I did was probably about a month ago. So it's been a while. And Deathwave is really, really strong. Just the amount of power that they can push so consistently is phenomenal, Wes. And then Ryo, what's your current setup for recording, like software and hardware to run Snap? So I'm using BlueStacks to emulate Marvel Snap from the Android Play Store. I'm using OBS to stream, to record, DaVinci Resolve for my editing. It's free. And then for thumbnails, I'm doing Photopea. I was doing the trial of Photoshop, but of course it's very expensive to have a, I'm so sorry, free happy. I feel like we're making people retreat because we're taking so long to play. Photopea for editing software, because we don't have an active Photoshop subscription. And so thank you so much for popping in, Wes. I hope that you're having a great day. I hope that you enjoyed the live stream, even if you're not able to stick around for too long. And then eStyle, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the videos. I'm enjoying making them. I'm enjoying just all of the interaction, all of just like everything that goes into it, the editing, the like brainstorming of different deck ideas, interacting with you guys and bouncing ideas off of it. Ooh, so we have a world ship game. This is interesting. So Venom is going to be decent here because we can stack cards, take that power, and then still play additional cards there. Hey Mitchell, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're able to jump in and join us for a live stream. We're actually only going to be live for another maybe 10 minutes because oh my gosh, yeah, we'll snap. Because we are just doing a quick lunch stream, but it's something that I want to do a little bit more often and just try to fill out the live stream scene a bit. So while we're doing the lunch streams, we're going to be doing it on both YouTube and Twitch together. And so anyways, I'm so glad that you are enjoying the live stream and the content. Have any of you guys been constantly getting the black cards? Yeah, the black cards bug is it's frustrating. And then the flashbang Colossus. So when you play Colossus, it's just a white glowing screen. Hey Doma, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining us for the live stream. For the future, or for sure, Marvel Snap would love to fight Hearthstone and trading card. Yeah. So TLSG will be on top of this hype. Yeah. And so with and I may have missed, but I think that's referring to like why I started streaming or creating content on the platform. And I think that really nails it. Is that it's a limited kind of. It was like a litmus test. There's not a big audience yet, and so I was able to kind of jump in, feel it out, get a feel for if it's something that I'm going to enjoy doing, and then if it's going to be fun to do, if I'm still going to enjoy it after doing the live stream, because you put in a lot more time into the game when you're creating content around it. So I wanted it to be something that I truly enjoyed and didn't feel like it was just like a grind. And so it has absolutely checked all of those boxes for me. New Trump video is out if anyone watches him. Elmo, I haven't kept current with most of the stuff because he does do a lot of content. But I think he does a phenomenal job for the videos that he does. Unknown Channel, I've been watching for a bit and just recently got into the beta, and have been using your videos to help with building decks. Yeah, I'm so glad. Have you been using the free-to-play videos? Have those been kind of what's been able to help you in looking at whenever I build a deck with a limited collection? Or are you doing some of our older videos before we got deep into Pool 3? So they're going to be able to see what we play here, but I think we do our Venom, and then we'll be able to have a pretty decently sized Venom. We'll be able to do Taskmaster and Sabretooth on the next turn. Probably not Death, though. I guess we're all here first because Snap is such a good game. Yep. So the game itself drew me in, and then the community and just the continual like updates and feedback and just how fresh it continues to feel is what has kept me here. So Aaron, that Viper sending Hobgoblin back to your opponent is when recording, that was so unexpected. It's probably one of my favorite gaming moments of like not just Marvel Snap, but just gaming moments in general, because it was just so random and unexpected. I think we lose this because of the Iron Man, but we're going to go ahead and let it play out anyways. But yeah, the Viper sending back the Hobgoblin, I focus a lot on being able to read the opponent and read what they're going to play. That's not something you could ever read or anticipate. It's just a random chance. Actually, no, we're not gonna donate 4 more cubes. I didn't realize it was an 8 cube game. And of course, people always live stream for hours. I think it's a good idea to do a lunch stream. Yeah, just so that we can, because otherwise I keep talking myself out of it because I don't have huge chunks of time. It's like intermittent here and there. And so the lunch stream kind of fits perfectly. It's an hour here, an hour there. It still gets us, into that live stream scene. I still get to interact with you guys, which is going to be my favorite part about it. It's a lot more real-time feedback. There is no sound. There should be sound. What do you think the strongest card in the game is right now? that one's a tough one. I think it's hard to put into like one particular card. Like there are some that are very versatile, but not necessarily the most power. So let me run through and look at the cards really quickly, because honestly I don't know. So the strongest card. Poor Nakia. Nakia got done. She didn't deserve. She didn't deserve to be slapped down that hard. It's really difficult to use. Before the balance, I would have said Dracula. Dracula being able to avoid Shang-Chi's and still pull in really big, high-power cards was just phenomenal. But now that discard is in a little bit different of a state, I think it's still strong, but maybe not the strongest. And then Leader is strong against certain decks, but then other ones, it has counters. I think there are a lot of really good and really strong cards, but I don't know that any of them just don't have counters. If I had to say one that was really versatile, probably Death, just because you can do Death Wave. There's a lot of destruction between both your side and the opponent's. I think if Death gets too high of a win rate, they switch it to just the cards that you destroy on your side of the board, rather than both players, because then you can get a 0-power Death pretty consistently if both people are running it. And so Doma, can you not place cards in the destroyed locations in World Ship? So you can only play after World Ship, you can only play in that location. Enjoy this phase of content creation where you have time to answer all the questions. Yeah, and so actually we only have a few more minutes, so we're going to switch to just this view. I don't have a good just webcam view set up, but that way I can kind of interact with you guys. But no, I think my live streams are going to be more of a it's going to be gameplay, but I think a lot of it's going to focus more on like interacting with you guys in a more real-time manner. So responding to comments is, I love bouncing ideas back and forth there, but this is a little more real-time and we can kind of get a better chat going. So I do like the live stream for kind of this type of content. So Stefan, is there any card or character you're looking forward to seeing? I don't think there's any one over the other. I know that as it currently is, if She-Hulk was released, Deathwave is going to be unstoppable. But otherwise, I don't really look into the data mined card, or I haven't looked into the data mined cards too much, because I know that they can continue to change, they can shift around, and I like kind of being surprised. So Daredevil, I had no idea what that effect was going to be when it was released. So we pulled it, we looked at it. I like being able to kind of create a like in the moment deck based off of that ability. And so I haven't really looked at any of those cards, but as far as characters, I think they've hit a lot of the really big ones for me. And then as they kind of develop and bring in other ones, like there are other comic book characters that I'm looking forward to, but I wouldn't say one that is just prevalent in my mind. And then Unknown, I've actually been using your older videos and learning from why you choose. And so I'm so glad that even after the fact, even after different patches come out, just kind of that thought process of why the deck build is the way it is still useful, because then you can kind of see the thought process that went into building it, why it was good at the time. So even if it's an old one that had a Nova, like a Nova Carnage, even though that's not great now, you can kind of feel out why it was good then. And Leader is definitely unpredictable, really high power push, but in certain decks it does have counters. So like a Destroyer deck, it absolutely wipes their board. Can you make an Ebony Maw move deck, please? So playing Ebony Maw on the left lane and then still being able to push cards over. I kind of like that. I kind of like that one, being able to still push power over. It's a really powerful one-drop card. And then Mr. Negative can be broken, but the consistency is why he's not just overly broken. So if you get the right draw, if you get the right resources, Mr. Negative is phenomenal. I don't think his power level output can be matched. But if you don't draw into him, if you aren't able to Jubilee into him or flip into him, then your deck is very mediocre. And then leader is a really good one. And yeah, Hell Cow is now 4 mana. So no longer can you do the Sarah one cost Hell Cow cheese. Mitchell, can you give deck building tips real quick? Maybe if not, I understand you're short on time. So it depends on what you're going with. So if you're going with a control type aspect, taking into account different locations, your card effects, and what card effects are really big for the opponent right now. If you're going with like a powerful combo, so like a discard style deck, you really want to focus on what makes those things powerful and have every single card that you put into that deck support that. So like if you're doing a discard, most of the time throwing in a Shang-Chi is not going to be beneficial. Like there are some games where it would win you the game, but more often than not, you'd be better from just having an additional discard in your deck. And so, hey, thank you so much, Raylan, I'm so glad that you were able to join us live. I'm so glad that you are enjoying the content and the channel. Elmo, what's a good pool 1 deck? So after the updates, I think Khazar is still competitive, at least for pool 1, up until you start running into Killmongers. After that, it becomes a little bit difficult. But Khazar is still pretty good for that early in your collection. Upland, I'm so desperate to play this, but can't get the APK to work. And so I'm so glad that you have a way to kind of scratch that itch while you're not able to play, at least for now. I hope that you're able to get into either the beta or the global release soon. But for now, I hope that my channel will kind of tide you over. I wish they would make Gore a card for Gore the God Butcher from the new Thor. So I haven't seen the new Thor movie. Let's see, but it sounds like it'd be a pretty cool card. So Doma, what cards do you think have been hit by the biggest nerfs? So I don't think Nova's was overly critical. I think the 1 power puts it back in its place. It really shines in its own archetype, and it doesn't really benefit outside of that archetype. Nakia, I think, was hit a little too hard. So Nakia only hitting 2 cards in your hand feels really bad unless you hit like a high priority, like a Swarm or a token, so like a Mr. Sinister or a Brood. Nakia feels very underwhelming. And Ironheart, which is like a starting card, pushes more power on average than Nakia does now. So Mr. Negative and Iron Man are best friends. Yeah, and Mystique is really good. Devil Dino, even to an extent, we have. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? It's the inverse of Devil Dino. Ronin. Ronin's good in an inverse deck as well if you're not in like a flood the board type meta. Raylan, we played the other day and I was playing Mr. Negative but didn't draw him. Yeah, it's one of those things that if you draw him and you hit the right combo or the right draw, feels phenomenal. Other than that, you have to kind of retreat. My in-game name is Gongtong. I'll keep an eye out for it for when we face in the future. Mitchell, are you actually a Marvel fan? A lot of Marvel Snap creators I feel like aren't. So the comic books I am just now getting into. So a lot of what my enjoyment for Marvel comes from is like the cinematic universe. I did subscribe to the Marvel comic book service, and so I'm catching up on a few of the comics. I think the game has really elevated my enjoyment of Marvel Snap, but I was a fan of the cinematic side of it before the game, and then I think seeing all of the cards in action, and then like Chavez, playing her before watching her in the newest movie, I was able to like really relate to the character and the character's power, and so I think it really emphasized and kind of increased how much of a fan of Marvel I am. But if it's Marvel versus DC, I've always leaned more towards Marvel, at least for the movies. I feel like the movies for Marvel are always this may be opening a can of worms. I have enjoyed Marvel's movies better than DC's, but a lot of DC's shows, I have enjoyed like the storyline of those better than a lot of Marvel shows. And I don't think that fits all, but and it may open up a can of worms, but yeah, that is. So Strong Guy and Hell Cow, 2 energy nerf is brutal. Yeah, those are brutal as well. And so I'm gonna catch back up on chat, and then we are gonna jump back into work because we're running just a little bit late. Doma, thank you so much for jumping into the stream. I'm so glad that you were able to join me and just to have a quick chat session. And then what do you think about Agatha's power? So her ability or her power level? I think her ability is cool. I think it's hard to utilize consistently. I have seen some pretty cool and unique deckless builds around it, but her overall power level for kind of that drawback of having her play your cards, I think is a little weak. I think she could do with a few more power points. You should check out House of M's. Yeah, that's actually on my list, Jose. In the Marvel Snap Discord, some people were giving me feedback, and House of M's is one that I have on my list to check out. What's your favorite card to build decks around? Right now, I've been enjoying Doc Ock a lot more than I thought I would. I've been enjoying Adam Warlock lately, and finding a way to make him valuable because playing him on turn 2 is such a low tempo play that finding a way to make that work and finally being able to find a place where he feels like he fits has been really exciting for me. So those are the 2 that I've recently really enjoyed building around. And then MCU definitely counts. Who's your favorite card to tech in your decks? For a while, it was Chavez, but bringing her down to 9, and now that we have more card options, that's become less of a tech card. And then otherwise, it really depends on what the deck list is. I really enjoy the Storm Juggernaut combo. I know that's not necessarily like a 1-card tech choice. But I enjoyed that one. If we're going like a one-off just to throw in a deck, I think Rogue, whenever you're going up against like an ongoing card meta, is phenomenal. I think she performs very well at being able to steal those really high power effects, or even if you don't benefit from them, just making sure your opponent can't. And then what is your favorite? Okay. And then the Snyder Cut really goes crazy considering DC movies. Oh, yeah, the Snyder, yeah. And so Cyber Soul, thank you for the stream. I don't like watching on Twitch, but being on YouTube was awesome. And it was a fun afternoon thing. So, no, thank you so much for jumping in. I know we didn't get a lot of good, high-quality games in. We got a few, but we got some chat back and forth, and that's what I enjoy about the live stream, is being able to interact with you guys. So thank you so much for jumping into the live stream and just enjoying the content. And then Harry, so many decks I want to see, but I need to wait. So many decks you want, yeah. So we'll continue building some of the decks out. And then Sasha, I'm so glad that you were able to jump in. I hope that you have a good rest of your night, and for everyone else as well. I am now like 10 minutes late back from my lunch, so we ran a little bit long, but I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for all of the super thanks that came through. I will make sure to shout you out in the next video, not the one that airs tomorrow, that's already recorded, but the one that airs the day after. So thank you guys so much for just jumping in, enjoying the content, interacting with me. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. This has been TLSG. Later, guys.